Hey everyone, today I'm showing you how to install a profile aluminum roof on your 2024 and newer Polaris RZR XP 1000. Now this is a staple item to give you protection from the sun and other elements. It's also going to work with the Tusk windshields and rear windows, and you can even get this with the Adventure roof rack and LED light bars if you choose to do that. But if you want to buy them individually, you can do that as well. If you are installing an Adventure roof rack at the same time, we'll give you a couple tips throughout the process. But with all that said, it's simple to install. Let's go ahead and get started. To start out, I've laid out all of my hardware in order. That's going to help me stay organized throughout the process. And right here we have some foam tape. So you're going to have several pieces that are pre-cut to length. So that's the first thing we're going to be installing. Let's head over to the machine. Our roof has been installed once before, so our foam tape is already installed, but we're still taking you through this process. The first thing you want to do is clean off the top of your roll cage everywhere you're going to be installing that foam tape. So just take that soapy water on a rag, wipe it down, make sure there's no dust or oily residue on top of there that's going to prevent that foam tape from sticking. The next thing you want to do is set the front and rear sections of the roof on top of the roll cage. Get that pretty close to centered up. You might want to have a friend help you do this, but make sure the mounting holes are lined up across the middle section of your roll cage. So once you have that done, you can put a little marker of blue tape on each end. Now, a quick side note for anyone installing an Adventure roof rack, that rack is going to come with 4 low profile roll cage clamps. There's going to be 2 on each side, and it's the back section of the roof. Across this flat section, you'll notice there's 4 mounting locations on the roof. So next to those slots, you're going to want to make a mark on your roll cage in all 4 locations. And then we're just using a dry erase marker to do that so it wipes off easy. But if you want to use tape or anything like that, it's going to work great. Then you can hold the clamp up, and once you have your foam tape installed, you can just cut that section out. So with those locations marked, we're going to remove the roof and install our foam tape. We're going to take the 2 73.5-inch foam tape strips, and we're going to start at that front mark and go all the way across the top of the roll cage to that mark in the back. And if there's any extra length of tape, you can simply cut that off with some scissors. And then going across the roll cage, we're going to be starting in the front with a 43-inch piece of foam tape. On that raised bar, we've got a 28-inch piece. Right in the middle, we have another 43-incher. And in the back, you're going to have the 40-inch piece of foam tape. And this tape on the back, you want to angle it slightly towards the back of the machine. And the purpose of all of this foam tape is to help prevent any vibration between the roof and your roll cage. Now that we're done with the foam tape, if you're installing a rear window, you're going to want to do it at this time. And if you have one like ours, this is from Tusk. It's got those loop clamps with the rubber coating. They can go above or beneath that foam tape. And then for windshield, we are installing a folding glass windshield with this, and we're going to be installing that filler panel at that top section. At the same time, we're installing the front section of our roof. Now we can set the rear section of the roof back on the roll cage, and the back 2 mounting locations. We are going to start with the M8 by 25 millimeter button head bolts. I've got a washer on each one of these. You want to go through the back of the roof. Then we have a 1/4-inch spacer on the inside. We'll go through that into the roll cage gusset. And then we've got the nylock nut on the inside. And we're going to leave all of the hardware loose until one of the final steps. Now we'll take the front section of the roof, and when you set this into place, make sure the front section sits on top of the back section. And then where those 2 pieces overlap, you're going to take 2 of your M6 by 16 millimeter button head bolts, put a washer on them, put them on the outside edges through both holes, and then a nylock nut on the inside. That's going to help hold everything in place while you install the rest of the hardware. Now for the front mounting locations, I've got this M8 by 35 millimeter button head bolt. Put a washer on there, And then if you're installing a windshield at this time, it's going to sit underneath the roof, or if you have a feeler panel, whatever you have for the windshield you're installing. And then behind that, you're going to be installing this 1/2 inch spacer. Then you'll go through all of those items. Then there's the gusset underneath the spacer, and you'll have the nylock nut on the back side. And with that being said, that is why we have that foam tape on our feeler panel. It's going to help reduce any vibration. Now for the second mount back, this is only going to be used if you are installing the Adventure roof rack. If you're not, your kit came with 2 plastic plugs. I'm just going to pop those into place. Do that on both sides. Now another heads up for you guys installing an Adventure roof rack. You can leave this middle mounting location and these rear 2 mounting locations empty for now. But for everyone else, you're going to be taking the M8 by 25 millimeter button head bolt. You got a washer on there, and the rear section of this front piece. We're going to go through that. Then we have that 1/4 inch spacer that's going to go between the roof and the roll cage gusset. We'll go through that and the gusset, and then we've got the nylock nut. That's going to sit on the back side. We'll do that on both sides. Now to attach the front and rear sections of the roof together, we're going to take the 5 remaining M6 by 16 millimeter button head bolts. We've got a washer on each one. We're going through the top, and we've got that nylock nut on the bottom. Now for the 6 loop clamps, we're going to put this flat side around the roll cage, and it's going to sit against that roof in all 3 mounting locations. And then you're going to use your M6 by 20 millimeter button head bolts. You've got the washers. Go through the roof, through both sections of the clamp, and then put the nut on the inside. So once you have these 3 done, move over to the other side and do the same thing. Now with everything loosely installed, there is a little bit of adjustability. So you want to align this so it fits the best on your roll cage. Once you're happy with the fitment, you can start in the front and tighten everything down and then work your way towards the back. You're going to need 4 and 5 millimeter Allens along with 10 and 13 millimeter combo wrenches. So that's it for installing the Tusk profile aluminum roof on your 24 newer Polaris RZR XP 1000. We're almost ready to go ride this thing, but we are installing that Adventure roof rack and a light bar on it. So if you need help with that stuff, you can follow us over to the other videos, subscribe to our channel while you're there. And if you need to pick this stuff up, you can find it on our website. Just click the link in the description below. We offer free shipping on orders over $75. I'm Charles with Rocky Mountain ATV MC. Thanks for watching.